Jay Park walked through the dense forest, his boots sinking into the wet ground with each step. Dark clouds hung low in the sky, promising a terrible storm. The mountain trail was getting steeper, and the wind began to whisper warnings of approaching rain. He was a geologist, alone on a research expedition in the remote mountain range. His backpack was heavy with equipment, and sweat mixed with the first drops of rain on his forehead. Thunder rumbled in the distance, a deep and threatening sound that made the forest seem smaller and more dangerous. The rain came suddenly like a wall of water crashing down from the sky. Within seconds, Jay was soaked. His waterproof jacket fought against the downpour, but water found its way through every small opening. The path became slippery, and he carefully watched each step to avoid falling. In the growing darkness, he saw a rocky formation ahead. A small opening in the mountainside looked like salvation from the storm. Jay moved quickly, half walking, half sliding toward the cave entrance. His breath came in short, quick bursts as he reached the shelter. Inside, the cave was cool and dark. He pulled out his flashlight, its beam cutting through the darkness like a knife. The cave walls were rough and wet, with strange patterns of rock and mineral formations. Water dripped from the ceiling, creating a soft, rhythmic sound that contrasted with the violent storm outside. As his eyes adjusted to the darkness, something caught his attention. It wasn't a rock or a shadow. Something was lying near the back of the cave, something that definitely wasn't supposed to be there. Jay moved closer, his hand instinctively reaching for the small emergency knife in his pack. The object was large, about the size of a person, but its shape was wrong. Too angular, too smooth, not natural. The flashlight beam revealed something extraordinary. A body, but not a human body. The skin was a strange silvery color, almost metallic, with intricate patterns that looked like they were part of the skin itself. Clothing or equipment seemed to blend into the body in ways that human technology could never achieve. An alien. Here, in this cave. Unconscious. Jay's scientific mind battled with his survival instincts. Part of him wanted to run, to escape this impossible situation. Another part wanted to investigate, to understand what he was seeing. The alien wasn't moving. A dark liquid pooled around its body, blood perhaps, but not red like human blood. It was a deep purple, almost black in the limited light. Several deep wounds were visible, looking like they came from some kind of intense impact. Outside, the storm grew worse. Lightning flashed, turning the cave entrance bright white for split seconds. Thunder followed immediately, so loud that small stones seemed to shake loose from the cave ceiling. Jay knew he had a choice. He could leave the alien and save himself, or he could try to help. His training as a geologist had taught him to be curious, to investigate the unknown. His basic medical training from wilderness survival courses whispered that this creature might die without help. He took a step closer. The alien's chest moved slightly, still alive. Another step. The translation device on his belt, a standard piece of equipment for international researchers, suddenly came to life. It detected an unknown language signature and began to calibrate. The alien's eyes opened. They were large, amber, intelligent, and right now, filled with pain and confusion. For a moment, time stopped. Human and alien stared at each other. Two beings from different worlds, trapped together in this small cave while nature raged outside. Jay slowly raised his hands, showing he meant no harm. The alien tensed, ready to defend itself despite its injuries. The storm continued. Rain hammered against the cave entrance. Wind howled like a living creature. And in this small, hidden space, two very different beings were about to meet for the first time. Just another day of research, Jay thought, except nothing would ever be the same again. The alien's eyes locked onto Jay, sharp and watchful. A small device on its wrist began to emit a soft humming sound. Jay remained still, his hands raised to show he meant no harm. Suddenly, a mechanical voice broke the silence. "Stay back," it translated, the words coming out in broken Korean with a strange metallic undertone. Jay noticed the alien was wounded. A deep gash ran along its side, oozing the dark purple liquid he had seen earlier. Despite the warning, he could see the creature was struggling to maintain consciousness. "You're hurt," Jay said softly, taking a careful step forward. "I can help." "You?" The alien tensed, its body shifting in a way that suggested some kind of defensive mechanism. The translation device continued to work, struggling to bridge the communication gap. "No human contact," the device translated. "Dangerous." Jay remembered his wilderness first aid training. "Approach slowly. Show you're not a threat." He reached into his backpack and pulled out a small medical kit. The alien watched every movement with intense concentration. "My name is Jay," he said, speaking slowly and clearly. "I'm a geologist. I found you in this cave during the storm." The alien's response came through the translator. "Rena, scout, damaged ship." Jay noticed how the alien, Rena, seemed to be sizing him up. Her body was unlike anything he had ever seen. Silvery skin that seemed to shimmer slightly, even in the dim cave light. Clothing that looked more like an extension of her body than separate fabric. He opened the medical kit, pulling out some antiseptic wipes and bandages. "May I help you?" Jay asked, holding up the medical supplies. Rena hesitated. The translation device worked overtime, processing the request. Finally, a response came. "Minimal assistance permitted." Slowly, carefully, Jay approached. The alien didn't move, but her eyes never left him. He could feel the tension in the air, thick as the storm outside. As he began to clean the wound, Jay realized how different Rena's biology was. The injury seemed to be healing even as he touched it, with small silvery lines moving across the skin, knitting the wound together. "Your healing is incredible," he muttered, more to himself than to Rena. The alien tilted her head. "Advanced regeneration. Standard biological protocol." Jay couldn't help but smile. Even in this extreme situation, the alien seemed more concerned with technical precision than immediate survival. The storm continued to rage outside. Rain hammered against the cave entrance, and occasional thunder made the ground tremble. Inside, two beings from entirely different worlds were slowly finding a way to communicate. Rena's translation device began to malfunction slightly. Words became more fragmented, but communication continued. "Ship. Malfunction. Electromagnetic interference. Crash landing." Jay understood enough. "You're stranded," he said, not as a question but as a statement. The alien's amber eyes seemed to soften slightly. A hint of vulnerability showed through her previously defensive posture. "Rescue unlikely," the device translated. "Communication systems damaged." Jay realized the gravity of the situation. An alien, wounded, trapped in a cave, with a human she didn't trust, hundreds, maybe thousands of light years from home. He reached for his thermos, offering water. Rena watched the movement carefully before accepting. As they sat in the cave, the storm outside continued its relentless assault. Two beings, one human, one alien, brought together by chance, survival, and the unpredictable nature of the universe. Neither knew what would happen next, but for now they had found a moment of unexpected peace. The cave remained their shelter. The storm continued to rage, and a most unusual first contact began to unfold. Hours passed in the cave. The storm outside continued, but inside a different kind of storm was brewing, a storm of conversation and understanding. Jay had cleaned and treated Rena's wounds. She seemed to be healing faster than any human could, with strange silvery lines moving across her skin, closing injuries that would take weeks for a human to recover from. "Your body heals quickly," Jay observed, breaking the silence. Rena's translation device hummed. "Regeneration is standard biological protocol for my species," she responded. Jay pulled out some energy bars from his backpack. He offered one to Rena, who looked at it with curiosity. Her long fingers examined the packaging carefully before taking a small bite. "Interesting nutrition method," she commented. The cave felt smaller now. The initial fear had transformed into something else, curiosity. Rena began asking questions about human survival. Jay found himself explaining how humans adapt to different environments. We are not the strongest species, Jay explained, but we are the most adaptable. Rena's amber eyes showed genuine interest. Her civilization was built on rigid systems and precise calculations. Humans seemed chaotic and unpredictable. To her, your species moves without clear protocol, she said. You create solutions where no clear path exists. Jay laughed. We call that creativity. They shared stories. Rena spoke about her mission, a reconnaissance of potential planetary systems. Her civilization had been watching Earth for decades, carefully studying human behavior. Many in my world see humans as potential threat, Rena admitted. Your technology grows fast. Your adaptability is unpredictable. Jay understood the underlying concern. Humanity's rapid technological progress looked dangerous from an outside perspective. We are not perfect, Jay said. But we try to learn, to understand. As they talked, something changed between them. The initial fear dissolved. Two beings from different worlds found a common language, not just through the translation device, but through shared experience. Rena showed Jay a small, holographic device. Images of her homeworld appeared. Strange geometric cities, massive structures that seemed to defy human understanding of architecture. Beautiful, Jay whispered. The hologram revealed a world of precise lines and calculated design. Everything looked perfect, almost too perfect. Jay realized how different their civilizations were. Outside, the storm began to soften. Rain became a gentle pattering against the cave entrance. Moonlight started to filter through the opening, creating soft shadows. Rena's injuries continued to heal. Her breathing became more regular. The initial tension had transformed into something resembling mutual respect. Humans surprise me, Rena said suddenly. You face unknown with curiosity, not just fear. Jay smiled. That's how we survive. We explore. We ask questions. They sat in silence for a moment. Two beings from different worlds, sharing a small space. The cave felt different now, no longer a place of danger, but a place of unexpected connection. Rena's translation device made a soft humming sound. We are vulnerable, she said. Both of us. Alone. Unexpected. Jay nodded. Vulnerability had become their bridge. As moonlight continued to fill the cave, the alien and the human sat together. The storm outside had passed. A new understanding was just beginning. The universe, vast and mysterious, had brought them together, and nothing would be the same again. The quiet of the cave suddenly changed. Rena's damaged communication device began to pulse with a soft, urgent light. Her body tensed, becoming completely still. Something is coming, she whispered. Jay's scientific training kicked in. He moved to the cave entrance, carefully peering out. In the distance, strange energy signatures appeared, like heat waves but with an unnatural blue-green glow. Scout ships, Rena translated through her device. My people, searching. The situation became critical. These ships wouldn't simply look for Rena. They would neutralize any potential contamination, which meant destroying everything in the area. Including Jay. We need to hide, Jay said quickly. Rena's technological knowledge merged with Jay's geological understanding. They began transforming the cave, using local minerals and her advanced camouflage technology. Jay identified specific rock formations with unique electromagnetic properties. Rena used her device to create an interference pattern. Together, they started building a complex defensive system. Your geological knowledge is impressive, Rena commented. Jay used local quartz deposits and mineral compounds. He knew how certain rocks could disrupt electronic signals. Rena's technology enhanced these natural properties, creating a sophisticated jamming mechanism. The scout ships approached. Massive structures, they looked like metal shadows moving through the sky. Their scanning beams cut through the landscape like surgical instruments. Jay and Rena remained completely silent, their breathing controlled, their movements calculated. The first scout ship passed overhead. Its scanning beam swept across the mountain range. But where their cave should have been visible, there was nothing. Just rock. Just mountain. Rena's technology created a perfect holographic camouflage. The rocks around them seemed to shimmer slightly, matching the surrounding landscape perfectly. To any external scanner, their location appeared completely normal. Impressive human creativity, Rena whispered. Another ship approached. Then another. Each passed without detecting their presence. Their combined human-alien defense worked perfectly. Hours passed. The ships continued their search pattern, methodical, precise, but unable to penetrate their hidden location. Jay realized they had done something extraordinary. A human and an alien, working together, had created a defense system that could fool advanced technological scanning. As the final ship disappeared, Rena's device made a soft clicking sound. "Mission successful," she said. Jay looked at her. "We protected each other." The cave felt different now, no longer just a shelter. It had become a place of unexpected collaboration, of survival. Outside, the mountain remained quiet. The scout ships were gone. Their hidden location remained a secret. Rena's injuries continued to heal. Her technological systems slowly restored themselves. Jay's geological knowledge had provided the perfect natural camouflage. "Your species is more complex than my civilization believed," Rena said. Jay smiled. "We are full of surprises." As evening approached, they sat together, two beings from different worlds, united by a moment of unexpected defense. The universe had brought them together in the most impossible way, and nothing would ever be the same again. The mountain kept their secret. The cave remained silent. But something extraordinary had happened within its rocky walls. Survival, collaboration, understanding. The morning light broke through the cave entrance. Jay and Rena sat quietly, the tension of the previous night slowly dissolving. Rena's communication device chirped. A rescue signal was incoming. But something had changed in her demeanor. The initial coldness was gone, replaced by something more complex. "My report will be different," she said suddenly. Jay looked at her, curious. "Different how?" Her amber eyes studied him carefully. "Humans are not what my civilization believed. You are not just a threat. You are potential." In the distance, a soft humming sound grew louder. A sleek, silvery ship began to descend towards the mountain range. Rescue had arrived, but everything felt different now. Rena's device translated her thoughts. Her civilization had watched humans for decades, always with suspicion, always from a distance. But this encounter changed everything. "Chaos can create innovation," she explained. "Your ability to adapt, to survive, to connect." Jay understood the weight of the moment. This wasn't just a personal encounter anymore. This was first contact, real first contact. The ship landed some distance from the cave. Strange geometric shapes moved around its exterior. Advanced technology that looked more like living art than machinery. "They will want a full report," Rena said. Her voice carried a mixture of excitement and nervousness. Jay watched as recovery teams approached. They moved with precise, calculated movements. So different from human exploration. Yet now, he could appreciate their complexity. Rena's injuries had nearly completely healed. The strange, silvery lines on her skin told a story of advanced regeneration. A technology far beyond human understanding. "Will you tell them the truth?" Jay asked. She paused. "The complete truth. About our encounter. About humanity's potential." The recovery team was close now. Strange translators and scanning devices surrounded them. But Rena stood differently. No longer just a scout. Now something more. "My civilization sees borders," she explained. "Your species sees possibilities." Jay realized this moment was bigger than just the two of them. This was about two civilizations understanding each other, about breaking down barriers that seemed impossible. Recovery teams entered the cave. Their technology scanned every inch, but Rena's stance was different. Protective. Respectful. This human, she told her team, pointing at Jay, showed me something unexpected. The translation devices worked overtime. Technical language mixed with emotional nuance, something rare in her civilization. Jay watched as Rena explained their encounter. How a chance meeting in a storm-swept cave had changed everything. How human creativity and alien technology had worked together to survive. Her team listened. Their body language suggested surprise, confusion, and something else. Curiosity. Recommendation, Rena said formally. Further diplomatic exploration with human civilization. The words hung in the air. A massive shift from potential conflict to potential understanding. Jay knew he would never be the same. A geologist who had become an unexpected ambassador. A human who had shown an alien civilization that humanity was more than just a potential threat. As Rena prepared to leave, she turned to Jay one last time. Sometimes, she said, the most important discoveries happen in the most unexpected places. The ship prepared for departure. Strange energy signatures surrounded it, advanced technology beyond human comprehension. But something had changed. Bridge had been built, not through weapons or technology, but through understanding. Sunlight filled the cave. The mountain stood silent. Witness to a moment that would change everything. Two civilizations, one unexpected connection. The universe watched and waited.